Where Winds Meet just launched in the West, but it has already been out for almost a year in China with a constant stream of brand new free updates, including huge new regions to explore that look absolutely amazing. There are a ton of new bosses, over-the-top mounts, brand new weapon types, including gauntlets that seem very strong and fun to use, and way more. So I thought it was fun to look at the Chinese version and the updates they got, because we will likely get all that stuff as well, although the timeline will likely be different. I want to discuss that a little later in the video. Maybe right now you've already noticed that we cannot track the final fireplace to get the full Kaifeng Map. And also when crossing the bridge, to get there you see a countdown telling you are not experienced enough. So Where Winds Meet launched on December 27th in China, and on January 9th, so a little less than 2 weeks later, they opened that whole Kaifeng map. I right now have to wait till November 24th before I can continue with the story missions, and eventually through the main missions you can get to this part of the map, as we've seen footage here from Cat Sausage. Link to their channel in the video description. They streamed all the new Chinese content. So yes, this new Kaifeng region also includes more side stories, outposts, and brand new bosses. Now I don't want to spoil and talk about everything, also then this video would be like 50 minutes long because there is a lot. I just want to highlight some cool things that I saw were added to the Chinese version of the game. So let's move on to update 1.3, the Lunar New Year patch, that as the name suggests, added a big firework festival to the game around the Lunar New Year. So this was on January 16th, so a bit before Chinese New Year. As the name suggests, this added a big firework festival to the game with many mini games like shrinking yourself and then doing platforming puzzles and other activities. They added 3 brand new bosses that I don't think are in the global version yet, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I know we do see the boss talents at least for one of them. And in the Cat Sausage stream, we also see that they added a weird new mount option, which is just a super sprint, which looks kinda crazy. So the game already has some very unique mounts in the global version right now, like the dog and the goose, that both get even crazier once they are upgraded. But if we look at the mount section in the Chinese version, so 1 year after launch, we also see that there's a mount option where you can be chased by a leopard, like this amount, with the upgrade being you mounting the leopard, chasing an NPC instead. There's also a huge cat. You can ride a donkey and a camel and then have an army of camels. Why not? And well, the camels make sense because the first big new region that was added to the game is a really cool looking desert. So let's take a look at that, the new weapons that were added, and of course way more. Leave a like on the video, that would really help me out, and subscribe for way more Where Winds Meet content. So at the end of March, 3 months after the launch of the Chinese version, a new main mission marker appeared on the map over here. This quest eventually leads you to a mural. There's a pretty cool cutscene that I don't want to spoil, and before you know it, you are in this sand-filled region called Hexi. You will encounter brand new enemies here, like these winged monsters, and I'm looking through the Cat Sausage footage, and this new region looks absolutely stunning. We got those camels we can ride as a mount as well. There's this purple sandfish creature that can easily help you traverse the land. It seems like there's a brand new board mini game you can play. The Wayfarer is also present to reveal the first map. Like, there's a lot in this region, including of course some boss fights that I don't want to spoil, but this looks completely different compared to the 2 launch regions we got. It seems comparable to a paid DLC for other big open world single player games, but this content is of course all free. Apart from the crazy mounts, you of course have to pay for those. And a month and a half later, on May 16th in China, they got Langshou, another huge new map, but this time filled with snow. You literally walk from the desert region straight into the snowy region. The Wayfarer is a bird this time, and remember that purple creature helping you traverse the desert? Well, now you can use it to get to the very cool floating platforms with the Lunar style lights. There are once again many incredible looking scenes in this content, probably from the main story. They are not holding back, and this also includes a huge new boss fight. They were actually already like promoting this in promotional material before the update went live, so that's why I want to show it already. But this is gonna be challenging from what I've seen. So now every month they seem to expand the map a bit and add more new bosses and main story missions, and some of the stuff that you see right here and that I'm seeing by looking at this footage is very creative in terms of art direction and gameplay. I'm also seeing a new weapon type that was being added in July, if I'm not mistaken, but want to touch more on the new weapons and what I found in a moment. As the final update as part of the Hexi content schedule that again started in March and now ends at the end of August, we enter a portal and go to a brand new grasslands region that once again looks completely different. Really beautiful, kind of endless and relaxing. Compare all these year 1 regions versus what we now have at launch, and I think it's a huge step up. It's of course more mythical. I'm down for that. Curious to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. But yeah, this land is very peaceful. The cat challenges are back, for example, but this time you turn into leaves and have to collect the objects before the time runs out. The next region though, they added a month later, so in September, is in a big 2.0 update. And this adds more new elements, but I want to look at some new weapons first. Because they of course keep adding cosmetic skins for weapons, over-the-top ones like a giant spoon for I think the Thundercry blade, but there are also some brand new weapon types added that I assume are free, just like the launch weapons we have now. Now, if you are someone who is or has played the Chinese version, totally reach out to input@JorRaptor.com, the email address. If you want to share some details or footage or anything else, help me cover this in the future, that would be appreciated. Because it was actually quite hard to find information about when and how the new weapons were added. So like I said, it seems that one was added in July, the horizontal sword. A smaller blade, but you use 2 hands. It's still fast, very flashy. It kind of reminds me of the nameless sword and the strategic sword. And it seems to focus on combos, where new moves are enabled after doing other attacks. It looks kind of strong, has the delayed attacks as well. The coolest new weapons though that actually just came out a few days ago are the gauntlets. Yes, powerful gloves similar to V from League of Legends. They of course seem to be very strong in close combat. Has some cool finishing moves with the camera actually making a sort of close-up when you do them. And the charged heavy attack does that as well. And I also saw footage of someone using the new gauntlet weapons in combination with what looks like a new rope dart, because it has this insane AoE attack that is just the nameless spear charged attack, but way stronger. So it seems like that is a new variant as well. Again, if any Chinese players could chime in, that would of course be appreciated. And I think there are more weapons, but again, I don't have the info, so anything would help. But in one of the videos from the Gauntlet Weapon, we do see the player go on a rocking horse, because why not? Either way, this rocking horse is in another brand new region added in September. In the trailer, they highlight this mechanically advanced world, and after fighting a monkey on a boar, again, why not? We have to pilot one of these machines to reach a higher point. So one of the new mechanics is that you can use the celestial seas to grab barrels and then throw them to enemies. There are also new talents to unlock, new mechanical enemies that look wild. Like, it's only going to get crazier from here. The launch enemies we have now are really not representative of future content. So a lot of this content is already done. They just have to localize it. So I'm really curious what the release schedule for the global version that we are playing now will be. Because to be honest, they are already pretty aggressive in China with, again, every month some new content to play at the size of paid expansions we see for other open world games. But it would also be weird, I think, if we would always be 1 year behind on the Chinese version, as you clearly see that the developers get better and better at making content and introducing cool ideas. So I think we will still see that Lunar New Year update in January, maybe a bit earlier in January, and then maybe the desert update a bit faster than the end of March, and then they just build from there. Curious to hear your thoughts and what you are the most excited about the things that I touched on. Again, if you are a Chinese player, let me know. Input@JorRaptor.com if you got any input. Check out my tips video for the game by clicking on the screen. Subscribe for more on Where Winds Meet. Leave a like and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.